Hi Pokefans, welcome back to a new video on my Pokemon Scarlet gameplay. In this episode, we are going to be finally going ahead and checking out all of the exams, that is especially the final exams for all the subjects in the Naranjan Academy. After doing a video on the midterm exams, I always wanted to do this video. So today, we are going to be going ahead and covering all the answers for each of the subjects for the final exams. As you can see, I've already gone ahead and completed the rest of the classes. So only the final exams are ready right here. You might have not seen the history class in this list right here. I've actually covered that class in a separate video and it's actually called the King's Treasures. Unlike the other final exam rewards right here, we do have a separate storyline for the history finals and you do get to catch around 4 legendary Pokemons for it. So I would definitely recommend you guys go ahead and check out that video. I'll be putting a link for it right here. Well, getting back to this video, it seems like we have already started the biology final exam. And here is the first question. How many of the following 4 methods make it easier to catch a Pokemon? So the correct answer is actually 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and select this one. Next one is a true or false question. You can get a new Pokemon only by catching them yourselves or trading them with other trainers. I think the answer is false. We do get Pokemon through mystery gifts and other ways such as raid battles. Now for some of these questions, I'm just gonna be kind of guessing the answer. So I might not get the full perfect score at the end, but let's see if we can actually go ahead and get 5 out of 5 for all of these tests. It seems like we are already in the last question and till now all of them have been pretty easy. So I'm not too worried about it. As long as we get 4 out of 5 correct, we are gonna pass this class and get some rewards as well as some dialogues with the teachers themselves. Personally, I think that's the fun part for me, so that's the reason why I'm actually covering this. If you're interested in this, go ahead and complete all the final exams in your game and see what kind of rewards you get as well. Alright, let's check if we did pass. And we did pass the biology test. Now I did get 4 out of 5. So I'm not sure which one might have been the wrong answer. Maybe it is the first one. Either way, let's quickly go ahead to the next one. Alright, we do have the math final next. So let me quickly go ahead with it. Now, if you're more interested in kind of finding out the answer for yourself, I would definitely recommend just taking the final exam as soon as you complete that particular class. For example, if you take the math class, you can go ahead and complete the 4, 5 and 6 math classes and then directly try to take the math final. That way, I think the questionnaire becomes much easier since most of these questions that come for these exams are definitely from those classes themselves. Alright, let's try and see if we will get at least 5 out of 5 in this exam. Here is the second question. Well, I feel like the answer is actually B. Even with the crit hit, it's a water type Pokemon going against a grass type. Third question, under normal conditions, what percentage chance does Stone Edge have to land a crit hit? I think it's about 12%. If a Pokemon uses Sword Dance twice, it boosts its attack by 4 stages. How much damage will its physical move then do? I think it's triple damage. For the last question, if a rock Pokemon does terrestrialize into a rock type, I think the rock power move will actually be multiplied by 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the C option. There we go, that is all the 5 questions. Going back, I'm definitely interested to see if we have passed this exam. Usually you do get another chance if you don't pass, so don't have to worry about it. But talking to the lady, it seems like we have passed this one with 5 out of 5. Pretty cool. We also seem to get experience candy for completing all of these final exams. I think that's the same for the other subjects as well. But other than this, we do have some special dialogues as well as cutscenes, kind of like storylines for each of these teachers, which I think we have kind of seen in the midterm exam video. So I'm really interested to go ahead and cover more on it. and try to kind of complete the storyline for those as well. I think I had a couple of them that were quite interesting, especially the storyline that was for the battle study teacher Dendra. She was talking about learning how to make a sandwich, and the last time we saw, she was pretty much failing on it. So I'm interested to see how she will actually end out that storyline herself. Now the last 3 questions for the language study is gonna be a bit trickier because we are trying to kind of gauge the emotion that Pikachu actually is showing. But since these 2 were kind of covered in the class, I was able to figure out the answer. Either way, it seems like we have completed the language exam as well. Let's quickly go back to the front desk and see if we actually passed this one as well. Also, by the way, the storyline with Professor Salvatore is that he is trying to kind of rescue a Pawmi. So I'm interested to see what happened to it, and is he actually gonna kind of adopt it and keep it with himself, or kind of let it back into the wild. So that is a thing I'm interested as well. Alright, it seems like we have passed this exam. Pretty cool. Let me quickly go ahead and go to the next one. This time it's gonna be the Battle Studies final. Alright, I think we are ready for that one as well. As far as I've seen through all the classes, I feel like I still like history class the most. Personally, I feel like that is the only class where we got to know more about Paldea and its kind of past. Also, we got to know more about the storyline that they were actually going through with Professor Sada. Definitely helped with the lore as well. But I'm still kind of interested to see what happens next. Hopefully we'll get a DLC, which is not yet confirmed, but maybe we might get it in the mid of this year. Back to this exam. Battle study exam is pretty easy. As long as you are able to answer the questions in the class itself, I think you'll be easily able to get most of the answers for these questions. It seems like we are already in the 5th question, and I think the answer for this one is actually true. And we have completed the exam once more. Alright, let's go back to the receptionist and talk to her once more to get to know if we have actually passed this exam. I think this is also an easier way for you to go ahead and get some experience candies. So if you really want some immediately, I think this is an easier way to kind of get it, rather than going to the tier 8 dens and trying to kind of take down the Pokemons there. And seems like we have. Pretty cool. Let's quickly talk to her once more. Seems like we have only 2 more exams left, so let's quickly go ahead and complete them as well. This time it's the arts final, which is pretty nice. The last time we had the art classes, I felt like it was not that interesting because none of the questions that we did have in the class or the concept that they had for it were not really related anything to Pokemon art, so it was pretty sad. Either way, I think I'll go ahead and answer these questions right here. The answer for the second question is surrendering some flora. That is what I've heard in the class. Third one is, I think, only 2 waterfalls in 10 sites of Paldea. At least that's what I have counted till now. The million volt skyline is in Levencia, so the answer is B. And for the final question, I think we can actually have more marks for a Pokemon after we have met, so I'll say false. And that's all for the art finals. Pretty cool. It's always nice to kind of see Hazel right here. We do have his own storyline to complete as well, where I think when we had completed the midterm final exams, he was seen talking to someone where they were actually insisting that he comes home. So we have to see what happens next. Back at the reception, it seems like we have passed this exam as well. Pretty cool. Alright, we have one more final exam to attend, so let's quickly complete it. It's the homeroom economics, and I have no idea what we had for this class, so I might have some issues with the questions, but let's see how it's gonna be. Now, as far as the completion storylines for each of these teachers go, after the history one, I feel like this one's storyline is gonna be a bit tougher. We'll get to see what I'm kind of telling as we go through this video. But as of now, I think let's quickly go ahead and complete this exam. Now, most of these questions in the exam is on the picnic, so if you have kind of done picnic before, I think you'll be easily able to guess the answer. Just like this question right here, where it asks what is the most important tactic to increase the effectiveness of meal power, which is actually making meal with others. Fourth one being, yes, it's actually Pokemon Wash. That's what we use in picnic itself. Last one, I think it doesn't really matter what uniform we wear. It just matters that we actually wear it and come. So that is all we have for the final exam for home economics. And let's quickly go ahead, talk to the receptionist, complete out to see if we have passed the exam, and then continue to the most exciting part, which I have been waiting till now. I think we would have passed this exam as well, but let's see. And we did. Alright, pretty cool. So we have got couple of experience candies which I'll definitely be able to kind of use. And it seems like we can actually get some extra candies from didactic level for completing all the rest of the exams. But now here is our main quest. First teacher that we are gonna go ahead and find is Hazel. He is right here near the entrance hall. Let me actually look around to kind of try and find him. I'm actually more interested in his storyline because it was sounding very mysterious the last time we actually talked to him. So definitely it's gonna be pretty interesting. Alright, maybe he is in the other side. And, ooh, okay, he's right here. Let me talk to him. Oh, why? Hello there, young Dash. I'm sorry, I was lost in thought and didn't even notice you approach. I feel I must again apologize for what transpired in the schoolyard. This is actually a storyline from the midterm exams, so if you have completed it, you'd probably have seen it. That is very magnanimous of you. That woman who showed up is a dragon tamer and a relative of mine, I might add. You see, I come from a very long line of trainers who specialize in dragon-type Pokemon. There was a child in a family who was expected to stand at its head and lead it to greatness. But the young lad, rebellious little fellow that he was, ran away from home one day. Oh, okay. He made quite the show of it too, swearing he would make a living with music. A lot happened since then, and now he's the art teacher and Elite Four member before you. That's a cool story, but I think that was Hazel talking about himself. After I so rudely took my leave during our last conversation, my dear relative encouraged me to give up teaching and return home at last. I've been told the current leader of my family, that is to say my father, is in poor health. Oh, okay. But I do apologize. Perhaps I'm not cut out for teaching after all. What sort of teacher grumbles on and on at his own students? No, you are definitely a great teacher, and I definitely don't want you quitting anytime soon. My dear Dash, you have no idea how much your word means to me. Thank you very much. Okay. I wonder what happens next. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is not the end of his conversation. I think the next thing we have to do is just go back to the computer right here and try to kind of find where he's gonna be next to complete his storyline first. Alright, I think he's in the art room, so let's make our way there and let's see what happens next. At least we are trying to change his mind. That's true. Alright, he's right here in front of it. And talking to him, we have another cutscene. Why, hello there, Dash. I really liked his greetings. You always seem to appear at the most crucial of moments. Is something going on? I wonder. Well, you see. Oh, Master Hazel, I'm here to collect you. So I see. I'm glad that you finally made up your mind about taking your place as leader of the family. Well, it is indeed true that I have made up my mind. I have made up my mind to continue teaching here at the academy. How could you? Are you saying that you don't care what happens to our proud lineage? I'm saying that I have other priorities. I am so glad he's sticking up to himself. Have a look around at the art decorating this room, would you? The children here are letting their senses, their perspectiveness grow freely. I do not wish to say that protecting our family's ancient bloodline is of no importance. I simply wish to see young talent blossom and grow into the future. It just seems so much more fun to me, if I'm being honest. What utter nonsense! And yet, your fearless, unflinching commitment to that nonsensical vision proves that you're worthy of carrying the will of the dragons, Master Hazel. I will not give up. I will come as much times as I need to in order to change your mind. Oh, by all means, my door is open. I think you'll soon find out you have met your match in stubbornness. Alright, that's a great statement. You thought I could be coveted by some stories spun up about my father's deteriorating health. I'm not so easily fooled. That's good. I'll return another day. And she has left. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I was very so close to resigning my post as teacher and returning to my home. But the students here gave me courage to say no. That includes you, Dash. Your words truly brought me strength. I cannot think of a way I can possibly repay my debt to you, young ones. Take this, if you will. Insufficient as it may be in expressing the full breadth of my gratitude. And he gives us 50 dragon shards. Alright. Now then, let it be clear to all. I, Hazel, will continue on my chosen path as an instructor to the youths of our world. That was a really beautiful ending. Personally, I enjoyed this storyline and I'm so happy that he actually stayed back. Not that we had any chance of kind of sending him away either. But that is one storyline completed. Alright. The next one, I am wondering whom to actually select. I think we'll actually go ahead and complete Dendra's storyline. Considering that we were checking out on her sandwich making. Here she is. Talking to her, we have another cutscene. No way, no way, no way. Come on, Miriam, just try it. What's wrong, Miss Dendra? Oh, great timing, new kid. Nurse Miriam here won't try the sandwich I made. I think that's kind of understandable. Well, duh, I don't want to get another stomachache. You won't, probably. I still remember that sandwich you made me with meat fillings and meat for bread. That one really messed me up bad. That sounded really bad from what she explained. And of course, Dendra calls herself young and thoughtless. Young and thoughtless? It was last month. Okay, that was way too close. So, as you can see, I'm not getting anywhere trying to pursue her. Even after I went through that intense sandwich making training, it kinda makes me sad. She went through intense sandwich making training? Yup, she definitely did. I guess I have no choice if you've got one of your cute little students on your side. Well, let's hope she doesn't get sick once more. And I think she's gonna try it right here. Alright, let's see what happens next. Okay. And it's a little strong flavored, but I guess it's not bad. Ooh, okay. Woohoo! My training paid off. I'm so glad my sandwich pleases the great nurse Miriam. I look up to you, you know. Thank you for trying it, and thank you too, new kid. Alright, that was pretty cool. And she runs off again. That was weird. But that's just how Miss Rendra is, I guess. She's always coming into the nurse office with some injury or another too. Yeah, that's kind of understandable since she is the battle studies teacher. Going back, let's quickly go ahead and try to find her. I think we have another series of dialogues with her as well. Alright, seems like she is in the school store, so that's where we're gonna follow her. But it's pretty cool to see that she has definitely improved herself. Either way, she's right next to the counter. So let me quickly talk to her as well. Oh, new kid. You here to do a little shopping? Sure. Not true though. The school store's a nice place. They've got everything you need right here. I'm here to check out the sandwiches they've got for sale. The school store sandwiches taste great and have an excellent nutritional balance too. You're not making your own once more? Huh, I guess I'm not used to it yet. All the training is kind of wore me out. I have achieved my goal anyway, so I'm going to take a break from sandwich making for a bit. Oh, right, I didn't tell you what my goal was. I wanted to pay Nurse Miriam back for everything she does for me. It is my way of saying thanks. She's so nice and so skilled at what she does. I really look up to her. I wanted to try sandwich making so that I could be skilled at doing something for other people, like she is. But I guess I wasn't cut out for it. Oh, that's not true. What I'm cut out for, though, is being full of energy. So I decided to focus on that instead. Like I said in class, I think people and Pokemon make their stronger points stronger. You've really helped me out, new kid. Take this as my way of saying thanks. And we get 10 bottles of protein. Alright then, what should I go with today to get my protein intake? And that's all the storyline for Miss Rendra. Pretty cool. Personally, I would recommend you guys go ahead and take these classes as soon as they're available. I mean, the moment you start couple of gyms and complete them, I think some of these classes will be available. That way you'll be able to get most of these items. Alright, I think the next one is actually gonna be Miss Time. She is gonna be right here in the kitchen. Let's talk to her. She seemed to have a stalker. Dash, you scared me. Are you here for cooking? Oh no, I'm not here for anything food related at all. Alright. I was just walking around the entrance hall and I felt that intense grace that I told you about before. So I quickly ducked into the cafeteria here. Our cafeteria has only one entrance, so I thought maybe I'll be able to discover the identity of the person watching me if they followed me in here. That's actually a good idea. Ah, someone came just now. Huh? That's weird. I thought I saw her come in here. I guess I won't be able to ask my question today either. That girl. I feel like I've seen her several times before. She seems to be a student here, but I get the feeling that her question is not about her studies. Next time I see her, maybe I'll go up and start up a conversation myself. It could have been a little scary being in here on my own. I'm glad you were here with me. Alright. Seems like we were at least able to identify who was actually staring at her. Unlike the last time where we didn't really know what we were doing in the entrance hall. This time I'm just gonna go ahead and find her once more. Apparently she is in the schoolyard, so that's where we're gonna go next. Hopefully we'll get an end to the stalker and see why they're actually following her. Right here in the stadium. I am not sure where she is. Maybe I do have to run around to kind of find her. Okay, here she is. Dash, help me keep an eye out, would you? I've set up a little ambush here for that girl who keeps watching me. She'll be here any second. An ambush? Well, you see, it's not very pleasant knowing she just keeps staring at me all the time. And now I know what she looks like after seeing her in the cafeteria. Ah, it's you, isn't it? You're the one who has been secretly watching me recently. Oh, she is right there. Time, how did you know? I guess you must have noticed me. I'm so sorry. Well, of course I noticed. You were watching me practically all day every day, after all. I assume there's something you want to ask me? Yes, I do. I've been a huge fan of yours ever since your time as a gym leader. And I love rock type moves so very much. Oh my. But you just suddenly retired from your post as a gym leader a year and a half ago. Why did you quit? My goodness, is that all you wanted to ask? Yes, your reason for retiring was never made public. But it's well known among the students here that you just avoided the question anytime it's asked. I thought it would be rude to ask you a question that you didn't want to answer, so I couldn't find the courage to ask. So that's why your grace felt so very intense. I see, forgive me. So very intense? Never mind that. As for the reason I quit my job as a gym leader, I simply wanted to focus more on my job as a teacher. It's not that I dislike being a gym leader or anything of that sort. Quite the contrary. Talking about the gym fills me with feelings of nostalgia and sadness. That's why I always avoid answering the question when students ask. Oh, I see. Do you have any plans of becoming a gym leader again? No, I'm afraid I don't have plans to do so. My sister is doing a splendid job as a gym leader in my stead. I personally find being a teacher more enjoyable these days. But since I am in fact your teacher, I would appreciate it if you would call me Miss Time, as a student do, and not just Time. Okay, I'm sad to hear that, but I understand. Thank you very much, Miss Time. Well, I suppose that solves the mystery. Pretty cool, and that's a really good explanation. That made me so nervous. I said so many things to try to sound cool. I was certainly a little scared when I felt that girl's intense grace on me. But having you here with me allowed me to do what needed to be done to face what turned out to be one of my biggest fans. I must thank you for always showing up at just the right time, Dash. Allow me to show my appreciation a little. I hope these will help you on your adventure. And we get 50 Rock Terra shards. Pretty nice. So that's all on her storyline as well. It has been really interesting and I think I like this one as much as I like the first one. But there is still a couple other people to kind of talk to, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. This time we're going to the biology lab and talking to Mr. Salvatore, who is right here. Oh, my dear Dash. Thanks to your advice from before, Pommy is, well, just as you see for yourself. Feeling better now? Yeah, it's feeling better, but particularly Pommy may be just a bit meek, I suppose. I had Nurse Mariam take a look as well, and she says there's nothing wrong with it health-wise. So it shouldn't have any injuries, alignments, or the like. Okay, but it's so silent. Even so, it never utters so much as a cry, which is odd. That part has even Mr. Jock here stomped. Sorry that I couldn't be of any help. Don't worry about it. have some information now thanks to Academy's security cameras though. It seems Pommy was being attacked by a wild Pokemon and fled here to the academic grounds. Maybe it's still in a bit of shock from that experience and can't bring itself to talk. That might be the case. Yep, if that's the case, there's absolutely no problem with keeping quiet. Personally, I feel like this Pommy is actually the silent type, but you never know. Alright, I guess we can't really do anything much now, other than probably wait until it actually talks. Either way, I'm happy that they were at least able to kind of cure it though. Alright, seems like that is all for this cutscene right here. And of course, they are gonna go away. Let me go ahead and see where he goes next. In this case, he goes back to the staff room, so that's where I'm gonna go as well. I'm really hoping that he's gonna keep the Pommy himself, but let's see if that is gonna happen. My dear Dash, Pommy here is as healthy as can be. Pretty nice. Well, it seems a bit quiet is simply as a part of one's personality. But it's hard for a Pokemon to communicate with its fellows without speaking up. As you know, wild Pokemon use their cries to tell each other all sort of things, like the location of the food or whether that there are predators nearby. So even if I release this one back into the wild, I'm afraid that it might not be able to do those sort of things. Okay, that makes sense. What do you think, Dash? Where does Pommy belong? With you? Definitely. Oh, I didn't expect to hear my name. He is just shy. So you think it should stay here with me? I was so focused on getting it back to its good health so I could return it to the wild that I didn't even consider that possibility. What do you think about that idea, my little Pommy friend? And it did use its cry. Pommy, it spoke at last. Even without speaking Pokemon language myself, I know what it means. Oh, my dear Dash, mercy so very much. All the more reason you should have this. Here, a rare Pokemon for you to raise. And we got a Meowth. Okay. I guess it's kind of like an exchange. We get a Meowth and he gets a Pommy. But I'm actually interested to see what Meowth it is. Kind of like it's a Galarian one or a normal one. Let me check my box and it's actually a Galarian version or region Meowth. Here it is with the ability pickup. Pretty cool. Not that I really wanted this Pokemon, but sure, I'll have it in my box. And probably it's also gonna be available later stage because it did not really record it in the Pokédex as well. The last teacher is Saguro right here. Miss Dash. There's something I would very much like to ask you for help with. Okay, what is it? Well, you see, I do not want anyone to overhear this, but I hear rumors of an incredibly sweet condiment that exists somewhere in Paldean region. I absolutely must experience that ambrosial sweetness for myself. You're the only one who knows my insatiable sweet tooth. Thus, I have no one else I can turn to help on this matter. Okay. I cannot go looking for this condiment myself, lest I destroy the image students have of me. I will repay you for your troubles, of course. Give it some thought if it piques your interest. In the meantime, I will gather what information I can find about this incredibly sweet condiment. I will share what I can find with you as soon as I have more detailed information. Okay, I think I know what he's referencing to. And that is probably the sweet herba mystica. Now if you have kind of defeated a 6-star terrate den, then you would probably get these condiments from those. So all you have to do is go ahead and defeat a 6-star terrate den. In my case, I've already done that, so I can just go ahead and talk to him. Miss Dash, about that matter which I needed your help. I have discovered the name of this incredibly sweet condiment. It's called Sweet Herba Mystica. If you would find it during the course of your treasure hunt, I would be grateful if you would share some with me. Okay. We can talk to him once more. Miss Dash, have you anything to report about this Sweet Herba Mystica? Yup, we do, and we do have some. Alright, seems like we handed it over. So this is the Sweet Herba Mystica. I must recreate something with it right away. Alright, seems like he is doing something. It's so very sweet. My, what ambitious sweetness. It's like sweeter honey, a much sweeter honey. Yes, as if honey sweetness were multiplied by 100. Hey Miss Saguru, what you're eating? Ah, it smells super sweet and you look so happy eating it. No, you see, there's a reason for this. You don't look like someone who likes sweets, but that's pretty cool. Pretty cool? I've spent my entire life trying to maintain the image that others have of me. But now I see that it is possible to reconcile the difference between my outer appearance and my inner love of sweets. Well then, Miss Dash, here is a reward for your effort as promised. And we get a Slowpoke cup, which we can use when we are having a picnic. Thanks to you, I was able to have the most delectable sweet. Moreover, I even feel that my narrow-minded views have been broadened ever so slightly. Please accept my heartiest thanks. And that's all. So that's the storyline for all the teachers right here in the academy. And it seems like we have definitely increased the trust with all of them. I definitely enjoyed this way better than the post-game itself. So definitely this was pretty interesting and pretty cool. Either way, that's all I had for today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to support me more, check out the links in my description. I'll see you guys in the next episode.